Good morning, Parkside. Happy Monday, and welcome to the month of May. We are ready to launch our final theme of the school year. This theme will take us from today, the beginning of May, all the way until the end of our school year in June. Parkside, we are celebrating all of the great work we have done this year, all of the things that have been hard and things we've worked on, ways that we've grown, things that we are incredibly proud of, and thinking about the areas that we still need to grow and the things that are still hard for us. We are celebrating being proud of our success because there are so many things we've learned this year and so many ways that we've grown, and it is so important to celebrate that growth. One way that we will be celebrating that growth in the month of May and June is by using the book vending machine. Students, your teachers now have tokens in their possession. That means they're ready to give them away. Your class will be having a conversation about what it looks like in your classroom to earn a token to the book vending machine. You will be talking about what your teacher is looking for, listening for, and what you need to do to have an opportunity to get to that book vending machine in the month of May. I am so excited to see what books you pick, and I am so excited to celebrate all of the great work that we have done with our fundraisers and all of the great things that the PTO has done at our book fair to make sure we have so many wonderful books in the book vending machine. As you're selecting your book, make sure you look at all of the covers, read the titles. Some books are easier reading levels, some books are harder reading levels, some books are in English, some books are in Spanish. So make sure that you pick a book that is just right for you because you only get to push the buttons once, and once it comes out, that is your book. As always, if you're shopping in the book vending machine, and you're feeling like maybe there's not a book that's perfect for you, think about giving and caring about someone else and picking a book that someone in your family might like instead if there's not a book that's perfect for you. Parksiders, remember that as you're going to the book vending machine, the buttons should only be pushed when you have a token in your hand and you're ready to get a book. And only these very special the inchworm, I love books coins can go in the vending machine. No other coins or objects should go near the vending machine. As you know, this machine cost us a lot of money and we want it to last for a long time. So many kids get many opportunities to get a book from it. If for some reason you're using the machine and your token or your book gets stuck, please ask for help. If Ms. Newton or Mrs. Keene aren't busy, you could ask them for help, or you could let the office or your teacher know that your token didn't work or the book vending machine got stuck, and we will help you. Parkside, we are working toward our very last Cook's Credit goal for the year as well. If you check out the menu meter near the library, you will see that we are ready to enjoy dessert. And I will give you a little clue that dessert and a special treat is a very important part of our last celebration. So I can't wait to tell you more about what that special dessert treat is and hope that we can earn this in the month of May. We are working on our biggest goal yet, 3,000, with only 1 month to do this before the school year ends. I know that you will work incredibly hard, respectful, responsible, and safe behavior in the building, outside of the building, and all around to make sure that we get 3,000 Cooks credits as soon as possible. We've already got 525 this week, so nice job, everybody. You can look forward to a rainbow of Cooks credits this month. We've used a variety of different colors throughout the school year to celebrate different activities and themes. So as we fill up that barrel this month, there will be red, there will be blue, there will be pink. It will be exciting to see a rainbow of colors, just like the rainbow of friendship on our wall outside the library. Today is the first day of May. It's May Day. You have created some beautiful May Day baskets, and hopefully today the weather will be nice enough that you can go with your class on a walk and deliver some May cheer and a smile to some of the neighbors that live around Parkside. As you're delivering May Day baskets, make sure that you're representing Parkside in a positive way all throughout the neighborhoods. That means walking on the sidewalk, staying with your class, being kind as you're walking up to people's homes, leaving them by their doorstep or by their doorbell, waving politely to anyone you see in the neighborhood. Make Parkside proud of the great things that we're doing and the cheer that we're spreading in the community. Happy May Day! Parkside, as May starts, it's also time to have some of our summer toys back on the recess carts. You will notice that the recess carts now have a bucket of sidewalk chalk as well as a bucket of sand toys again. These were put away for the winter and the cold months. Please remember that sidewalk chalk can only be used on the sidewalks. Sidewalk chalk should not be anywhere near the play equipment. Sidewalk chalk should not be anywhere near the school building or the walls, only on the ground. We had some trouble with sidewalk chalk before, so if for some reason we find out that kids are not using sidewalk chalk in the appropriate way, we do have to put it away again. It is really, really hard to clean that off of the playground equipment and off of the school. It is only meant to be used on the ground. Additionally, the sand toys are out. The sand toys are just to be used in the sand area. When you are using the sand toys, remember that at the end of recess, they have to be taken out of the sandbox. They cannot be left in there overnight. They get lost or broken or they blow away. So it's really important if we want to have sandbox toys that when our recess is done, we put them back in the sand bucket and back on the cart. Although sometimes at home or at the park, when you're with your family, you take your shoes and socks off in the sandbox. At school, our shoes must stay on. I know that it feels icky to get sand in our shoes, and it's okay at the end of recess to sit on the edge, dump them out, and brush off your socks. But for safety reasons, at school, you must wear your shoes at all times in the sandbox. While you have the opportunity to use chalk and sand toys now at recess, this also means the recess carts are a little bit more full. Please help each other at the end of recess. Make sure that the chalk is in the chalk box, the sand toys are in the sand toys box, the balls are in the ball box, the trucks are in the truck box. If we put everything in the right labeled bins, the carts look much nicer. It's much easier to find what you want, and our equipment stays nice and lasts longer. So please make sure that whatever you're using during recess gets back on the cart, not left on the ground, not left in the grass, not left on the sandbox, and put back on the cart in the right way so it's neat and organized. Parkside, our top chef this week is second grade teacher Mrs. J. Mrs. J, the statue will be proudly displayed in your classroom this week. Congratulations. It is also Teacher and Staff Appreciation Week. You've probably noticed some of the fun decorations around the school. Thanks to our PTO, there's a few extra decorations this week to celebrate all the amazing adults that work at Parkside and make this a great place to learn every day. So, one way that we can say we appreciate our teachers is simply by doing our very best, being kind, respectful, and making sure that we are doing exactly what our teachers at lunch, at recess, and in the classroom ask of us each and every day. If you want to tell a recess teacher, a lunch teacher, your classroom teacher, a special teacher that you really appreciate them, consider writing them a nice little card or note this week, dropping them off a treat, or doing something extra nice to tell them thanks for being such a great teacher here at Parkside. One way that Mrs. Tramey can say thanks to all of the amazing adults that work at Parkside is to offer them a special little treat or gift from the teacher prize box. If your name is on this list, make sure you stop in the office sometime today and pick something out of the teacher prize box. Mrs. Knack, Mrs. Calvert, Mrs. McEwen, Mrs. Donovan, Mrs. Houston, Ms. Jacobson, Miss Brooke, Mrs. Betcher, Mrs. Miller, Miss Ortiz, Mrs. Richard, Mrs. Kenny, Miss Kelly, Mrs. Chambers, Miss Kelvin, Miss Lisa, Mrs. Olson, Ms. Evans, Mrs. Brunton, and Mrs. Versnick. These teachers were either nominated by someone else in the building to be top chef, but Mrs. J won, or they were an adult that took time to nominate someone else. So they wrote down a little note and they said something nice to someone else. So I wanted to recognize people that were nominated for doing nice things, but also people that took time to say nice things about others. We have the most amazing teachers and staff at Parkside. So it's going to be a great week celebrating all of the amazing adults here. Parkside, we will continue celebrating your success all through the month of May as we work toward that last celebration of the school year. Have an amazing Monday, everyone.